Welcome, everyone. I'm Glenn Downing with CameronDowning, a registered investment advisory firm here in beautiful Miami, Florida. In today's video, I'm going to discuss early retirement, getting into some nuts and bolts of some tax issues. But first, I want to talk generally about the concept of retirement a little. This practice of receiving a salary after cessation of employment is actually a relatively new thing. During World War II, the government imposed wage and price controls. You couldn't get a raise, no matter how good a worker you were. If another company wanted to hire you away, what enticement could they use? Well, they could offer to continue paying a portion of your salary once you'd retired. This is a defined benefit pension. With the rise of these pensions came the modern concept of retirement. Cessation of gainful work and living off one's pension, Social Security, and investment income. Before this, people really simply worked until they were no longer physically able to do so, and they did that of necessity. Defined benefit pensions are largely gone from the employment landscape unless you're a government employee or perhaps a union member. So the onus for retirement funding is squarely on the individual. Social Security is, of course, there, and it is not an insignificant benefit, but it won't provide for all of your needs in retirement. So the first question I want to ask you when you talk about early retirement is this: retire to what? Think about it for a minute. If you're a guest in my home, say you're an overnight guest, we've all had a late dinner and drinks. I'm tired, so I get up and say to everybody, "Would you please excuse me? I'm going to retire." Well, you know what I mean, right? I'm going to bed. So when you tell me you want to retire early, I'm asking you, retire to what? Very, very, very important planning point. You've worked productively for all of your life, and now you want to stop. Okay, but do what? Are you going to sit home and get under your wife's feet? Or will you become involved with volunteer activities, take some courses, launch a business, travel? Are you going to envision your retirement as the beginning of a new phase of your life, equally as productive as the previous one, but working at different things? If you have your retirement funding in place, this is where we can work with you to completely reinvent yourself to live a different kind of life. Early retirement is tricky income-wise because retirement accounts are generally not accessible before age 59 and a half without a 10% penalty. Say you want to take money out of your IRA. At your 50, say, you want to take out $60,000 a year, and you're going to be in a 25% marginal bracket. What's the situation? You're going to lose $15,000 to ordinary income taxes, but there's also a 10% penalty on the full $60,000. So that's another $6,000 in taxes. The planning point then is, what are you going to do for income before 59 and a half? Well, there are some workarounds. First, if you are in a qualified plan with your employer, 401k or profit sharing, you can take distributions from that plan if you've separated from service at 55 without the 10% penalty. People almost always want to just roll over their qualified money into an individual retirement arrangement, an IRA. But if you're intending to draw from it before 59 and a half, that would be the wrong thing to do. You would at least want to have as much money in the plan, if the employer will permit you to leave it there, to cover necessary withdrawals until 59 and a half. Another planning point is Rule 72T. Under IRS Rule 72T, you use their lifetime tables to determine what a payment would be to you for your life. In other words, what your monthly payment would be over your normal life expectancy. You can take that amount out without a 10% penalty, but with some caveats. You have to take that exact same amount out over a minimum of 5 years. If you begin taking the payment at 57, say, you'd have to continue drawing that exact same amount until age 62 before changing it in any way. If you violate that rule, then all the money you've taken out will be taxed retroactively for that 10% penalty. So Rule 72 can work for you if you want to retire at 50. You can start drawing out a payment based on a life annuity and then change it once you turn 59 and a half. How does your Roth IRA work? Well, you can withdraw your Roth contributions anytime without taxation. Not the earnings. They don't come out before 59 and a half without penalty. Also, converted Roth assets must remain in the Roth for 5 years before distribution. You can also use life insurance. This is a really good planning point. Cash value life insurance can often be structured to keep the death benefit relatively low to the cash value. In this way, you can create a pool of money that you can draw out of your policy and access generally without any taxation whatsoever. So the planning point here is that someone who wants to retire, say at 55, may use his life policy for cash withdrawals for those 4.5 years until turning 59 and a half, when you can then access your other retirement accounts without any penalty. This is the value of working with a professional planner. Come and see us and we will do some planning for you, and we will let you know if what you want to achieve is doable or not and all the risks involved. Once again, this has been Glenn Downing, Certified Financial Planner at CameronDowning. Please connect with us on LinkedIn, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. By all means, visit our website, CameronDowning.com. You'll find complete information there on our pricing, and you can book an appointment to come see us. Feel free to call or email with questions. Always great to hear from you.